What's going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining me for another video. It's your guy, Crypto Glenn. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. God damn, Bitcoin looks like it is falling officially off a cliff. Personally, in my own opinion, I don't think there's anything that we need to be worried about because it's just not. We knew Bakkt coming online could have possibly had these effects, just like the CME futures did back in 2017, which ultimately dropped us to about $3,300 up until recently, before we started to make our ascent to 10,000 and then 13,000 after that. I will say this: it looks like the self-fulfilling prophecy of needing to get below 8,500 has finally come true. For a long time, I know a lot of people, myself included, did not think it was going to happen, but lo and behold, here we are, currently sitting at about $8,487. There we go. Third time's always a charm for some reason. So now that we have officially filled the gap, the CME gap that was established, some time ago, what's next for Bitcoin? Personally, I think now that the gap has been filled, we are going to see somewhat of a resurgence in Bitcoin's price. I wouldn't be surprised if we went north of 15K from this point forward. I will say this: after being on Twitter not too long ago and taking a look at, prior to the dump even happening, let's go back here to about a week ago. I was sitting in Mitch Ray TA analysis channel. If you've never checked out Mitch Ray, definitely be sure to go by and check out his channel. A lot of insightful stuff. I use a lot of what he's saying to kind of, see if it coincides with what I'm seeing on the charts, and if so, great. If not, we adjust accordingly. But back in September 17th, I had posted a poll on Twitter basically stating, hey, Ethereum has broken out to 200 for the first time in about a month. Will it pull back below 200 before reaching its next major bullish target? Time frame is 1 week. Personally, inside of the Mitch Ray stream, I said it was coming back down below 200. If you've just been in the market for a long time, you tend to know how these things are going to go. And I said, personally, I think it's going down. I know one of the moderators was saying that, I was crazy and that it was obviously going to go up and keep climbing to the next, I think, target, which might have been $225 or $250. Personally, I didn't see that happening. I know we were in somewhat of a lull at that point in time in the market, and to get to 225 was going to take more energy. 250 was going to take more energy than potentially dropping below 200. So I jumped on Twitter and I said, you know what, I want to get this out to you guys and see what you think. And apparently 57% of you felt that it was going to keep going up. Ouch. I hope no one had any longs opened on Ethereum at that time, as you're probably trying to lick your wounds now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Ethereum's price is. $164.36. Obviously, some of this is correlating with the dump that Bitcoin is seeing, as those charts look the same. And I mean, it's really going to look the same for pretty much everybody to a certain degree, more or less. Cardano is currently sitting at 3 cents. And I'm not really a huge fan of Cardano, but I'll tell you what, for as many people really like it, and for it being at 3 cents, I could potentially be a buyer for it. I know there's a lot of people who like XRP, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been doing too much charting on this account, but I will say this: for us to have broken below 25 cents after really getting to about 30. Let's see, when was the last time we were at 30 cents? We were pretty much back at the 21st of September, thereabout. Okay. The last time, let's go September 20th. Nope. Where are we at? Right here. Okay. Yeah, so September 19th, thereabout. For us to have gotten, to 31 cents, and in some periods even getting to, 33 cents. I remember 33 cents for some reason is a huge psychological barrier, because you can only get $3 for $1 versus at 25 cents you get $4 for $1. And we started to make that ascent upward. A lot of people were thinking that we were probably going to see 40 cents. Like I said, I'm not a huge XRP fan, but I will say this: with us have fallen below 25 cents, if we don't get back to 25 cents, I personally think the next bear is going to be around maybe 20 or 15. And if you don't hold at 15, you're probably going to go down to 3 cents. The only reason why I say that is because if you go back, and I'd have to turn on one of my other indicators where you can actually take a look at the profile at each one of those key resistance levels. If you don't hold at 25, again, you're probably going to go to 20. If you don't hold at 20, you're probably going to 15. And if you drop below 15, you're going to 3. I'm not a huge XRP fan, but I would tell you at 3 cents for as strong as a following as this thing has, I think you would be crazy. And again, this isn't financial advice. This isn't me telling you to go out and buy XRP. But what I am saying is I think you would be crazy not to be buying XRP at 3 cents, given the hype that it has behind it. I mean, when you look at the fundamentals, it being able to solve cross-border remittance payments in a matter of seconds. Obviously, there's some, value there. I'm just not a huge buyer at it, even where it's at now. But definitely at 3 cents, like most definitely I would probably throw, I don't want to point a certain dollar amount to it, but yeah, I'm a buyer for it. Everybody wants to know what is potentially the reason for Bitcoin dumping the way that it is. Me personally, I think it has a lot to do with the Bakkt futures coming online. For some reason, whenever a new futures market comes online, it always drags the price of Bitcoin down. I can't really explain it, but I'm sure if I investigated it for a little bit, I'd probably have some information I could share with you. A lot of people, maybe myself included, a little bit feel that the SEC's decision to delay the Wilshire Phoenix Bitcoin ETF proposal has something to do with it. If you go back and if you've been in this market for a long time, any time that the SEC has actually postponed a decision one way or the other, it's always had an adverse effect on the price of Bitcoin. If we take a look here, we can actually take a look at upcoming deadlines for the SEC to make its final decision. Now, it's funny that they say that because I could have sworn they were supposed to have their final verdict rendered, once or twice before, but somehow here we are. So it looks like that the SEC will have to have their final decision, the final deadline for an ETF proposed by Bitwise Asset Management Company here in the middle of October. We don't necessarily have a defined date, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be somewhere between the 17th of October, probably till about the 24th, as that's going to be, the later portion of the month. So, I mean, that's really what we have. I'll ask you guys, do you all honestly think we even need a Bitcoin ETF in order to see the strong prices that we all want to see, given the fact that we've actually dropped below, 8,500? Some exchanges we've even dropped to, I believe, like 7,100. Crazy. Some analysts think that we're even going to see the 6Ks again. Me personally, I don't necessarily believe that. But I'll be keeping my eye on the charts to be able to take advantage of any trading opportunities as they may arise. But what do you guys think? Do you think we need an ETF to kind of get us to where we're going? Or do you think now that we've finally met this, self-fulfilling prophecy of dipping below 8,500, we're now finally on the road to being able to see new market highs? Taking a look here at this article, they're just touching upon the flash crash that happened. I don't know about you guys, but I'm never in a position to take advantage of the flash crashes when they happen. It's normally, during the tail end. And if you're like me, yeah, you might be able to, benefit and maximize or capitalize on it a little bit, but not if you were just staying glued to the charts all day, every day. So if you're one of the people who are glued to the charts all day, every day, like, I tip my hat to you. I know you got the ability the opportunity to take advantage of a major play here. Obviously, the descending triangle, anyone who's charting, they know that we've been in this pattern for quite a while now, and it's definitely a significant bearish pattern. So this flash crash or this downtrend really wasn't that surprising to him, as we had failed, once, twice, 3 times, almost 4 times to actually make it through, a certain key level of resistance. And at each one of these points, we kept bouncing off that rejection line and heading down. If you can do that 3 to 4 times, there's going to be a strong indication that you're probably going to dip down significantly, and that's exactly what we have here right now. In the last hour or so, Bitcoin has been in between 82.50 and currently we're at now 85.76. So definitely, if you zoom in here, you can see that the bears, while they may be in control here, the bulls are definitely trying to fight back. Looks like we've got some wicking going on here, and we're obviously trying to overturn this in the 4-hour candle that we're sitting in now. So we'll see how this goes in the next 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. That's really what I want to talk to you guys about here. I don't see this as a moment to panic personally. I see this as an opportunity to, as I said here in this tweet, set your goddamn longs. Keep an eye to the chart, figure out where you want to get in and set the longs. The self-fulfilling prophecy of us dipping below 8,500 has come and gone. I personally only think it's upside from here. And to be honest, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I've been pretty right in terms of calling things out. For instance, let's go ahead and see what Chainlink's at now before we do that Bitcoin dominance is still currently at 68%. It's just, just shy of that 70% mark. So all's not over for Bitcoin. Here we go. Chainlink here. Still under $3. I remember when I told people to sell it when it was around 30,000 Satoshis. People looked at me like I was crazy. And yeah, now you're down 10,000 Satoshis. So everyone on Twitter, you can go back and you can check that thread out here on my Twitter page at CryptoGlenn. You can take a look at it. And yeah, so like I said, I've been right about some things here. I've been right about more than I've been wrong about. And I haven't really been wrong about too much of anything. So personally, I'm going to keep an eye to the charts, getting ready to set my longs, because there's an old Phil Collins song that says, I can feel it in the air, and I can definitely feel the Bitcoin pump that's going to happen. Big dumps usually lead to big pumps, and vice versa. And right now we're in a dump. Get ready to make this money on the pump. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.